Okay, it's time. Let's start this month's Indoor Ag Science Cafe. Welcome to this webinar series, Indoor Ag Science Cafe. My name is Chieri Kubota. I'm a professor at the Ohio State University. So this is actually the first Indoor Ag Science Cafe with expanded scope. So we have been doing this 5 years since 2018. Mainly focusing on indoor ag, which is narrowly focused as more like a plant factory vertical farm setting. And then we wanted to expand the scope so that it's more inclusive, including greenhouse technologies and maybe unheated tunnel type of technologies. So that's why we are doing. And then the supporting groups, not just OptimIA group, which some of you may be familiar with. This is a USDA funded project group led by Michigan State University, but also ADVANCEA group, which is also a USDA funded group led by Ohio State and Rutgers University. And CEA Herb group, which is also led by Michigan State, funded by USDA. So the multiple groups funded by same programs, Specialty Crop Research Initiative Program, so that with the same, basically it's the same goal, developing further the CEA applications in CEA technologies. So this monthly seminars or webinars designed to provide information about technology, information about science behind the technology. So that's what we are doing. We have been doing. And since this is a kind of new organization now, it compared to the past, just one group was doing. We are still working on the upcoming program. So today we have ADVANCEA group presenting some of the recent experiences we have through our international trip to Japan. But beyond that, pretty open in terms of schedule. So this is for you to learn. So please feel free to suggest topics you want to learn. And then also the archive, the previous archive is in the OptimIA page. This is an event link, and then also archive is in this page. You can find what kind of topics we brought in, and then you can see, things specific to greenhouse may be limited because we were not focusing on greenhouse in the past, but now we are including greenhouse. So something greenhouse related might be, something you might want to hear. So anyway, we have been doing this Tuesdays, typically Tuesdays, 11 a.m. Eastern time. And then we hope to maintain this schedule, but depending on other groups' preference, we may change in the future. So, but anyway, so schedules are widely open. So I like to invite such suggestions. So the first part of this webinar is usually recorded, and then the discussions usually not recorded, so that you can feel more comfortable to ask questions. We typically encourage using microphones. But if you feel more comfortable, please use chat line to ask questions, but microphone usage is fine. So, okay. Today's topic, GPEC. It's a trade show for CEA innovations. Of course, not this trade show, but other trade shows talking about innovations in CEA, but it's very unique because they are focusing on mid-size to small size CEA operations. So that's why we went there this summer. Advanced CEA team, myself, AJ Bose from Rutgers, Ken Tran from Koidora, Keiya Satoh from Rutgers. So We went there to observe what kind of technologies they are showcasing, what kind of ideas they are new, something new to us. So we wanted to share this. And then co-presenters or the our fellow travelers also here, Dr. AJ Bose from Rutgers, and then his graduate student Keiya Satoh is also with us. So I like to do this quite informal way. So if you have questions, you can interrupt us in the middle of presentation. It's not formal presentation. So okay, so let's start. Unless you have something, AJ and Keiya wanted to say something at the beginning. Okay, so anytime you can also interrupt me, or I can ask for your feedback, whichever is fine. But anyway, so GPEC in Japan trade show. This is a report for that. Before starting the contents, just a disclaimer: we are not selling products, right? We are not endorsing anything. So just wanted to share what we have seen, what we experienced with our important stakeholders, which most of you probably do not have this opportunity. So that's why we are doing this. Again, ADVANCEA project hosting this particular webinar. ADVANCEA project teams listed here: Ohio State, Rutgers University, University of Arizona, Cornell University, Koidora, and Hot Americas, funded by USDA. All right, so GPEC. GPEC stands for Greenhouse Horticulture Plant Factory Exhibition Conference. They do every other year, so once in 2 years, typically in the middle of summer. So it's not really great time to visit Tokyo. It's very hot and then humid. But we enjoyed learning things and seeing things. This year, it was July 24th to 26th. So the 3-day exhibition. Location is Tokyo Big Site. Just a little bit about the history, how it started. So it started as CEA Technology Show. The first one was 1986. I thought it was much earlier, but it was actually 1986, the first one. After many years, Japanese professionals, growers visited the Dutch trade show, MTV Horticulture Fair. That's the name back then. Later name changed to Horti Fair. And then that's, if I understand correct, that's the current Green Tech held in Amsterdam every year. So they visited that Dutch, large greenhouse trade show, and then wanted to have something more suitable for Japanese situation, which is much smaller operation, family, based small greenhouse. So they started this trade show in collaboration with JMA, mainly with the effort of two professors, Dr. Tadashi Takakura and Dr. Toyoki Kozai. So I would call they are the first generation of CEA engineers, made a huge impact in the technology development over there. But the first one was only 77 exhibitors, but attracted more than 40,000 visitors over 4 days. So it's a quite excitement, I can tell just by looking at the record Dr. Tadashi Takakura shared with me recently. And then the name changed because of the increasing interest in plant factory vertical farms. So they changed in 2010 to call GPEC, Greenhouse Horticulture Plant Factory Exhibition Conference. And then the main organizer now is the Japan Greenhouse Horticulture Association. So just a little bit of the CEA in Japan. As I said, more small scale operation. So the actual average of operation size, including all the crops, is only half acres, 0.2 hectare. Total acreage is huge, close to 40,000 hectare or 94,000 acres. And then close to 90% of the area is used for food crops. So it's kind of opposite. US, we have good size, not 40,000 hectare, maybe 1/3 of that, I would say. But 90% or 85%, I think, is an ornamental floriculture crop. And the food crop is only 15% or so. So it's different. And then another different thing is Japan. So if we define greenhouse technologies as low tech, meaning no temperature control, medium tech, just with temperature control, and then high tech as temperature and something else like a CO2 and shade screen or lighting, that's a high tech greenhouse. If you classify that, according to the Japanese Ministry of Agriculture, then most of the acreage are basically occupied by many small, low to medium tech greenhouses. And then high tech, which is again, temperature plus, something else controllable, is only 3.4%. And then in terms of, area, and then on top of that, even smaller acreage is for vertical farms. So that's exactly the market they're looking at. Therefore, technology scale is very different. Also, major CEA crop, tomato is #1, like everyone else. US also #1 crop, but good percentage for spinach and strawberry. And then I would say tomato, spinach, strawberry are #3 largest crops grown in protected or greenhouse conditions, but mostly low to medium tech. So that's the background. Now, the site is the Tokyo Big Site Convention Center, beautiful large scale convention center. They have 16 different exhibition halls, and then two exhibition halls were assigned for the GPEC. And then this is one view of the exhibition hall. So the two halls are combined into one. I don't remember the square footage or anything, but just by looking, I would say if you're familiar with Cultivate in Columbus, every year we have a Cultivate event, mainly for floriculture exhibition. But compared to Cultivate, I would say less than half scale. I don't know, AJ, do you have, yeah, less than half, maybe 1/3. It's not that huge, but 200 exhibitors, and then good number of people visiting over 3 days. 41, that's the official record I found in the website. Individual exhibition size, the footprint of the booths, some of them are large, but not something you might see in green tech or, not that large, green tech or, cultivate scale. So it's many small exhibitions you can see. Most of the information you can find is in Japanese. So that's why I was useful to lead this group, because I could translate to someone like AJ and Ken who couldn't understand the language. So anyway, so another view of the whole exhibition area. So this year, GPEC collaborated or created 2 additional scopes. One is Smart Agri Japan, and then the other one is aquaponics. I think they do that, if I remember correct. So that sort of GPEC is a main exhibition, but create two additional ones and then, or one or two additional ones and then put together so that it has a unique feature every time they do. However, exhibitions are all together. So if you don't pay attention to program, you don't know which one this specific exhibitor is presenting. But I think it's one of the interesting marketing approach. Another thing I liked was concurrent workshops going on, 3 workshops concurrently running using 3 rooms. Each room, I think, like 100 people maybe sit in there. Oh, by the way, this trade show and then also workshops are free to participate. So you don't need to pay registration. That's another good thing of this type of event. And then for those workshops, I counted the presentations. It's about 20 topics. Some are repeated, but about 20 topics. And then each one has 1 hour to 1.5 hours. Mostly industry speakers, and then some academic speakers, and then mostly domestic Japanese speakers, and then some international speakers. In fact, we were attending Delphi Japan's workshop and talking about digital data-driven greenhouse management. And then the speaker was from the Netherlands, and then there was a translator, which was actually the moderator of the workshop also. So it was very well organized, and then we learned quite a bit by sitting in that workshop. So from here, I'm gonna mainly showing what we have seen and what we found interesting. And then I welcome Keiya and AJ's feedback or additional thoughts as I go through this slide. And then again, you're welcome to ask questions as you know. So I may make mistakes, right? Because I'm just reporting what I have seen. So if you are familiar with particular technology, for example, please feel free to correct us also. Okay, so the first thing I like to mention is, remember I said strawberry is number 3 crop under protected environment, greenhouse. Therefore, you see a lot of strawberry related, ideas, technology, and all that. So that's something I haven't seen in North America yet because strawberry is a relatively new crop. So I just listed a type of things we saw regarding strawberry. So something useful for transplanting or different trays, tabletop system to grow. The next one is quite unique. I'm going to explain this in a minute. It's a localized CO2 injection system, which is quite interesting. And then harvesting related tools, and then post-harvest technologies. The picture shown in here, I believe they are from, not picture is mine, but the products shown in the pictures are from Korean company. There are several Korean companies exhibiting horticulture or greenhouse technologies in GPEC also. And then the one in the middle is some kind of tool. So that filling the containers with substrate is much easier. So it's kind of guide for the bag of substrate. So basically holding the bag of substrate, I think, and then that would help to fill the containers underneath. Right-hand side is the tool to make a hole for planting plug plants or tray plants. So this is a localized CO2 injection system. So I was familiar with this technology because I read this particular research paper talking about efficacy of localized CO2 injection system. So the picture is not really showing the concept effectively because usually have a the canopy well established above this tubing system for injection of CO2. But idea is creating microclimate within the canopy with high CO2 concentration. And then the research was showing the using CFD, computational approach, and then also actually testing the two injection methodologies, entire greenhouse versus localized, and then showed that localized, CO2 injection can reduce the usage of CO2 and then increase the efficacy of CO2 usage. So I was reading because it was interesting. And then I was quite impressed. It's already technology available. So that's one thing I want to mention. This is also strawberry related. This is the tillage system. So some growers want to use the same substrate again and again, maybe just adding a small amount of new substrate, but not entirely replacing substrate. So in that case, all the substrate might get, roots, combined and compressed maybe. So you want to sort of aerate by tilling. So this machine is designed to run over the, the long container or trough. So that's also unique technology. A company, Minoru Sangyo, I know they do they manufacture many different machines, usually for small scale operation. Another one is a dual purpose spraying system. This is also a picture from a company, Nochio Group, showing the same nozzle and boom system can be used for spraying chemicals over strawberry plants. Low-cost greenhouse designs. We have seen advertisement here and there during the green tech. Again, the target growers a small scale, therefore something low cost, something simple, small scale. I think it's always important for them. This is also, I thought it's quite unique. So when we build greenhouse here, you have to create a team, maybe a general construction company, in some case, greenhouse designer, greenhouse builder. This company is basically providing all-in-one. So this is showing, okay, so if you want to start strawberry production in greenhouse, this is a package they can put together. So it's a busy slide, I know. So this is basically greenhouse structure side, venting system, things like that, curtain technologies, fertigation system, CO2 enrichment, and evaporative cooling. The picture shows quite interesting. This looks like more localized evaporative cooling rather than entire greenhouse evaporative cooling. Heat pump to reduce the fossil fuel for the heating. UV light for the pest management, or disease management, I think, not pest management, disease management, climate controller, and then biological control agent. So the materials also provided by this one company. So just one stop and then get everything. It's an integrated system design. So I think it's quite helpful for someone who doesn't know anything about technologies, but all in one package. Any comments, AJ or Keiya? Nope. Okay, good. I continue then. So another thing we saw, so this is new. This is quite new. I don't think we have seen anywhere other than this trade show, red LED for repairing, basically repairing thrips. And And then not just one company, just multiple companies are showing, lighting companies showing this technology. So they are recommending to put this, whatever the density, in the greenhouse or tunnels, and then turn on during the day, and then also plus minus 1 hour at the beginning and end of the day. Again, the efficacy is repairing thrips. And then I have looked at similar technology, not the LED, but the colored net technology. So, and then I read that thrips cannot see red light, so that for them it's a dark environment. So I think that's the base of this kind of technology. But something we haven't seen, it's kind interesting for me because it's more popular already in country like Japan. Another example similar. So this is what I'm more familiar with. Colored net to repel the specific insect, not because of the mesh size, but because of the color. I would call bandwagon effect, but somebody said this is good, and all so many products. So I think it's a cultural thing, but I thought it's quite unique. But this screenshot is my Google. It's just I did the red color net and greenhouse, and then showed so many pictures, growers share, or manufacturers or vendors sharing. Another interesting technology, so the Beehive temperature management technology. Again, I don't think we have something like that. The problem is, let's say you don't have a sophisticated greenhouse, you have a temperature control issue, but you still need to use bees. And then the problem is bees do not leave the hive when temperature is not adequate. High temperature, low temperature, I think both ways. And then one technology is so simple. It's a styrofoam box with a fan. You can see the fan. And then underneath there is water. And then basically creating evaporating cooling effect, and then maintaining lower temperature than without that kind of insulation evaporative cooling setup. The other one is a little bit more sophisticated. This is a phase change material, so that designed to maintain certain temperature. And then that's also helping bees to be active and active to get ready to do the work. This one was also, I thought, very unique. It's a inflatable vertical farms. So the package before inflation is very small, and then you inflate the package, and then just this is a within a half day it basically expand like that with pumping air, I think, and then can be used as a production system. And then I was thinking about how this can be used, and then maybe like an immediate deployment area that needs suddenly the food production on site, maybe after the disaster or something. I don't know, but I thought it's a quite interesting way of thinking of building something quick. Okay. Vending machine, if you go to Japan, you see vending machines everywhere. And then this is vending machines for produce stands. So basically, all doors are locked, but you type in the number of the door or ID number of the door, and then put the money in, or the credit card maybe, and then the door open and you can reach the produce. I think that's the idea. So anyway, I wanted to share. Automation is quite important in Japan too. Aging population in agriculture. I don't remember the average age of Japanese agriculture operators, but pretty old. And then CEA also, the particularly small greenhouses operators have that age issue, and then also labor shortage for mid-sized to large scale operation. So automation is quite important. So we have seen several machines showcase in the GPEC trade show. This is the harvesting robot. Denso was exhibiting that with Satoh in the Netherlands. But I believe this is a Denso's technology. And then we had that presentation actually in this cafe series last month or previous month. So that this one is actually harvesting whole truss of cherry tomato. And then other than that, you can find unique one. For example, this is a sorting and packing system for strawberry fruit. Yasukawa Electronics, I think the company name, or Yasukawa Corporation, was doing this showcase at GPEC. Basically, the machine picked the strawberry with certain specifications, most likely size, and then transfer into the container in certain order, or orientation. So that's also unique technology we have seen. In addition to those, we have seen de-leafing technology in the greenhouse. Varieties of local systems. I'm gonna skip this or not explaining too much about this. A lot of low-cost system, small-scale system we have seen. Oh, I'd like to talk a little bit about this one. So I'm not sure how many of you are familiar with high wire crop production using slab. So you have to do a meticulous irrigation control so that target, drainage relative to the amount of irrigated water can be met. To do so, there are multiple ways. And then this is a more sophisticated way. This basically weighing entire slab plus plants, the entire weight, and then monitor the weight, and then convert the weight to volumetric water content in the slab, and then control the irrigation based on that. Typically, this technology is available as part of the more sophisticated climate control system in North America, and then most of the time it's not low cost. So you have to already have this, good, sophisticated, expensive system to control the climate, and then you have to add this optional irrigation system to that. But this one is a standalone weighing lysimeter you can connect in your greenhouse. And then I believe this comes with a software, but I think that concept of just buying this particular function and then install that function or tool in your greenhouse, that option, I thought it's great. And the price point is not so, outrageously expensive either. So this is just a example of type of data. So that during the day, you can see that water content changes with frequent irrigation, which is very typical in high wire tomato production. Okay. And this is also a small scale automation system, but this is a sorter of tomato fruits. Tomato sorting machine is also available in North America, but what I have seen in the past is usually more geared toward large operation in the open field, and then sorting just by size and color, which is a ripening stage. This one is using bricks, so the sugar content also using the sensing technology based on, I think it's a near infrared light. And then also unique thing is this is for cherry tomato. So I haven't seen cherry tomato sorting machine. So I thought I should share that with you. next slide actually has video. I don't know if you can run this. So okay, hold on a second. So individualized cherry tomato, separated out, and then brought into the conveyor, and then going into the sensor unit for size, and then also this is a brick spot, and then this is a side. So and then separated into yeah, hold on. Yeah, this is the data, and then separated into the containers like that. So I thought it's interesting. Okay. All right. So another sort of additional technology you can select and add in your greenhouse is a CO2 enrichment. CO2 enrichment, this company, Koatsu gas company, setting again all in one. So the controller, injection system, distribution tubes, everything in one, and then you can buy it. So and then also I think this injection system has a multi-head injectors or injection control so that you can control 2 different compartments or multiple locations in the greenhouse. So I think it's quite interesting, useful, I guess, if you are interested in installing CO2. Okay, and then several climate control systems, and then this one particularly I just picked up because it is not involving any standalone, or how do I say it? It doesn't involve computer-based software. Everything is controlled by smartphone. There's a manual switches in the greenhouse, but interface program are all smartphone based. So I thought it's quite interesting. And then quite a bit of things, you can control from smartphone. Heat pump, it's again electric heating or cooling in order to have better temperature control, and also particularly for heating side, I believe this is for reducing heating fuel usage. What I liked personally was very thin design so that it doesn't occupy too much footprint of the small scale greenhouse. So by the way, this is a internal unit. Is that what you call? So the unit to put inside, and then unit to put outside. Heat pump. So it can be used for cooling and then also heating. So this one also quite unique effort. It's a standardization effort. And then now we can see products compatible to this standardized communication platform of data and control. So if you are familiar with, if you buy one software to control something and later you want to add something new, but different company, it is very difficult to integrate. Even sensors, some sensors need specialized software to communicate. In that case, compatibility with existing system is always the issue. But this group led by Dr. Takehiko Hoshi, used to be in Tokai University. Now I don't think he's in Tokai anymore. But anyway, so the Takehiko Hoshi started this effort to standardize the platform. And then I could see the protocol now named as UECS, pronounced as WEX. And then some of the products, again, are compatible to that protocol. And then another thing is it's available open source computing system. Therefore, you can build something using that protocol. growers, do-it-yourself type of growers or researchers can do that. So there was a university showcasing the classroom application using WEX in GPEC. And then also there was a service to offer the integration. So I thought it's quite unique and then important. I wish we have that kind of effort also in US. All right. So anything I'm using up my time. I just wanted to quickly finish up the rest, but anything you want, Keiya and AJ, regarding something
There's a question from Saeed in the chat. He asks, what company was offering strawberry cultivars for vertical farming?
There were no strawberry cultivars exhibited in trade show. And then most of the cultivars usually designed for greenhouse first. And then vertical farming testing greenhouse cultivars and then decide which cultivars they want to use. So that's usually the case. All right, so I'm gonna finishing up. There are several more slides, but I like to keep at least 10 to 15 minutes for additional questions and answers. So this one is quite unique technology. This is a supercooling technology with electric field to oscillate, I think, the molecules of water so that preventing freezing, so that you can lower the temperature a little bit lower than actual freezing point without freezing the products. And then that way, reduce the respiration, enhance the storability of the produce. There are multiple companies offering this technology. So these are the panels to, I think, generate electric field installed in cooler or installed in a shipping container or trailer, again, to expand the shelf life. So I think it was interesting. And then one company was saying that the shelf life can be 3 times longer than without, having this technology. So interesting technology we haven't seen in US yet. There was I think USDA researcher working on this technology. So we may start seeing more, or we may start hearing more soon. This company is producing a lot of different ideas, plastic tools and things like that. So these look like a hairpin, but actually the tool to hold daughter plants of strawberry. When you propagate, you cut the daughter plants from runners and then stick in a substrate, but there's no roots, so there's difficult to stay, stand up. But this one is actually designed for holding those strawberry daughter plants in substrate. So I thought that's quite useful. Another unique tool designed for reglazing plastic tunnel or high tunnel just by yourself, so that it's easy to move the material from one side to the other. Maybe you have something alternative, but making it as a product looking good, it's quite interesting. A lot of showcase of the startup companies. Some of them are university-based startups. So I thought it's a great opportunity to have those, showcase available in GPEC. This one is analyzing stomata. So it's not growers to more like a researcher's tool, but counting stomata and analyzing size of the open pore area. So and then size of the stomata. So that's quite interesting. Lot of styrofoam technology. So this one is the building made of styrofoam, therefore very highly insulating material, right? Used for the plant factory, therefore the cooling energy is minimized when it is used in a warm climate outside. Another one this is a step you can use in greenhouse to reach higher point. light in weight, so that's why styrofoam is used. But all of these are high density styrofoam. It's not the cheap, crumbling styrofoam we use in hydroponics and stuff like that in here. It's very hard styrofoam, high density styrofoam. So I thought it's quite interesting. A showcase from academic research groups, associations were there too. Left-hand side is the drone application for growth analysis or diagnosis of strawberry plants. Right-hand side is Plant Factory Association. This is a picture from actually Hoti Daily or Vertical Farm Daily specifically, showing their presence during the show. And then another Hoti Daily picture. This is sophisticated glazing material. Actually, I would say most advanced film technology. It's not plastic. It's a film technology, long lasting, like 40 years, and transmission and diffuse. The material is as expensive as glass. But what I liked is, try to showcase high tech used in a low tech structure. So combination of those, I thought it's quite nice, or my personal, vision of high tech integrated to low tech. So I like that. So that's why I show this. Several Dutch European companies also there to present technologies and service. Also photos from Hoti Daily. Again, because of the market difference, size of the operation difference, I believe they have to adapt quite a bit to meet the requirements or expectations in Japan. Some other trade show information, and then the scale. So the Green Tech Netherlands, 510 exhibitors and 12,000 visitors. And then the larger one is IPM Essen in Germany, a lot more exhibitors and a lot more visitors. Green Tech Americas, Mexico, which started several years ago. Cultivate, this is a scale of Cultivate. We have Indoor AgCon for vertical farms. Not as many as the others, but good number of exhibitors. I think for small growers in US, we might see this exhibitions a little bit too expensive to attend. But anyway, so we have this year, currently, I think CEA Ag World Conference and Expo is going in North Carolina. So let's see how many people attend that one. I hope that attract many visitors also. And then I think October, we have Canadian Greenhouse Conference. That is also good. And then GPEC, compared to those, it's equivalent size, a little bit smaller compared to some of them, but equivalent size. And then again, free to attend. It's just so good. But you have to pay for the travel, so that's another drawback. So after visiting, IPMSN is more like Cultivate, aimed at bedding plants. Oh, I see. Thank you, Jan. And showing wheel borrows, etc. as well. Oh, okay. So the low tech also. Green tech is more high tech. Yes, I agree. Green tech is high tech. So after visiting that trade show, we went there 2 days, I think, out of 3. We started wondering, how can we develop platform like this for showcasing innovations or small scale technologies geared toward small or mid-sized level greenhouses. Because again, US has large greenhouse, right? But small number of large greenhouses. And then we have many, 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 many small greenhouses. And then our trade shows are typically more geared toward large scale operation, particularly technology. If you go to Cultivate, you see like plastic pots, substrate that can apply to small scale growers too. But when it comes to technologies, I think many of them are mostly targeting large scale. I may be wrong. So that's something I like to discuss. We probably need more funding for startup companies, venture companies to build the technological level. And so USDA SBIR program would be nice to get expanded in terms of funding capacity. We want to promote somehow investment opportunities in support of small scale operations. So instead of one big technology going to several large ones, but small technology, but many, many of them might be something, interesting to develop. Not sure. And then another thing, when I was searching background of manufacturing capacity and things like that, it looks like similar workforce development issue in the manufacturing side. So we always talk about workforce development for growers, but technology development side also, we probably need similar effort. I don't know how to make it happen, but just wanted to mention that. So with that, I think we have about 10 minutes left. I'd like to encourage anyone who want to ask questions or share your thoughts. I really appreciate. But let me stop recording. But I like to thank again, the USDA, first of all, funded us. And then Keiya and AJ, Dr. AJ Bose and Keiya Satoh, and then Ken Tran, who is not here today, joining this trip.